Okay, so let's say we want to start actually building the content in our pages. The first thing you need to understand about working with Weebly is it's a drag and drop editor, which means that in the build section, you'll see a bunch of tools, and you need to look through these and make sure that you're familiar with what each tool does. Now for each of these tools, if I want to use them, I can click and drag and drop them on the page. That's why on a new blank page it says drag elements here, and it's showing you an icon that says go from the toolbar and drop it here. So let's go ahead and look at the two basic tools that you're going to use on every single page and what you can do in terms of layout. So every single page must have a title. This is because Google is going to specifically look for those titles, and the more titles you have that describe each page, the better your search engine results will be. So let's go ahead and drag a title onto our page, and notice that this area now becomes highlighted because that's where you're dropping your elements to. You cannot go anywhere outside of this area because that's where people won't be able to see if they have a really small monitor or they're viewing it on a phone or a tablet. So once I drop it, it actually becomes editable. And notice when I hover over it, I have this click here to edit instructions. I also have a thin blue line that's showing you this building block. If I want to add my title, I can click in here and type contact me. Notice that I can also come up here and make it bold. I can take the boldness off if I want to. Italic, underline. I can increase the font size and I can decrease the font size as I see fit. And I can even come in here and change the color if I want to. I can make this a link to go to a different page or a different site, but that doesn't make sense right now, so I won't do that. And I can actually left align, center align, or right align this title. Justify is probably more for paragraphs, so we'll just do left align for right now and talk about that option later. If I want to remove the formatting, I can click on it and it's going to go back to the original setting. If I make a mistake, I can undo or redo. So this is what we call a mini editor, and it allows you to change what you've got highlighted here, and it only shows up when you're actually inside of that building block. To get out of the building block, you can click off, and now you can see that that mini editor is gone. So when I hover over this, there are a couple of buttons I want you to be aware of. There's a move button, and this is going to allow you to move this to a different page or copy it to a different page. In addition, when you hover over, there is a delete button in the upper right hand corner that when you hover over it, it turns red. Just be aware that when you click on this, you're actually going to delete that building block and you'll have to build it again if you make a mistake. This center one is the move icon, and that allows us to move these building blocks around. So let's say I want to do my next building block, which is text. For a text building block, notice that when I come and drop it, or hover at least, there are a lot of blue lines that are showing up. This blue line is indicating where that building block is going to drop. So right now, it's going to drop underneath my title. If I accidentally put it here, it's going to show up on the left of my title. Here, it'll show up on the top, and if I hover over here, I don't know if you can really see this, it'll show that it's going to be to the right of my title. So let's go ahead and click and drop, and notice now that I have contact me on the left, and I kind of have a column here that I can start editing my information. So I can drag this divider line, this is a column layout, so I can drag that divider line and have all of my information just to the right of that title. Now I've already typed this out, so let me copy this first line, Command C or Control C if you are copying, and Command or Control V to paste it. So for me, that does look good, but if I don't like it later, I can adjust the column width. And if I would rather have the text right underneath the title, again, if I click off and then come back and hover over this box, I can see the new move button that I can click and drag, And notice now we're seeing that blue line again. So it's trying to ask me, do I want it to be underneath the title? Do I want it to be underneath the title and this other column? Well, I'll just put underneath the title for right now. And it's a little bit tricky sometimes. We'll just do that. So there we go. Now, if I want to create another block for my actual information, I can. Now, why wouldn't I just put this in this particular box? Well, I could if I want to, and normally I would if these two paragraphs were about the same thing, but I actually want to create different formatting for this information, so I'm going to drop it underneath that paragraph. Come in here and paste my contact information, and I'll probably make this a little bit bolder, a little bit bigger, and I think I want to do a darker color. And for this information, I want to center align it so that it's easier to read in a format that we are used to when it comes to writing addresses. Now, for both of these, I want to actually have a contact form on my page. This kind of looks ridiculous because it's really empty, but that's okay because I'm not done. I could come in here and I could add a contact form, which I am going to do in one of these other videos. In addition, I can add a map, and if we look through here, you should see a map tool somewhere. There it is, a map. So if I wanted people to be able to find the college and be able to find me quickly when they visit my website, then I can definitely add a map here, and we'll show that in another video as well. For now, you just need to make sure that you understand the drag and drop method, that you click on a tool and drag it onto the page, and the blue line is going to show you where that block is going to be placed, and that you can either copy it, move it, or delete it using the 3 buttons that show up when you hover over the box's border.